All right, it is going live, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy Akasan here on YouTube. Now, if do not mind the grain of the screen, I am not filming with my GoPro today. We're actually having a Google Plus Hangout right now. I just had some questions that I needed to be answered for the benefit of you, the audience, and me. But I couldn't do alone. I couldn't do it alone, so I had to invite my friends from the land of the rising sun in another prefecture. Let me please, it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce to you a very good friend of mine for the first time actually somewhat meeting live on YouTube here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kyushu Danji, otherwise known as Tino.
That's right. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? So this is, you could technically say this is the first time for me. It's a YouTube collaboration, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I've never done anything before.
Yeah, it is. We've talked many times before, and I always appreciate the fact that you got in contact with me via YouTube or Facebook, one of the two, and definitely it's my honor to have met your acquaintance at that time.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
Yeah.
It's been a long coming, you know.
What did you say?
It's been long coming. It's been like I'd always seen. I was like, you know, I got to get in contact with it. I got to get in contact with this dude. And it's like, why am I not in contact with this guy? So it's like I had to reach out, you know.
I'll never forget the first time I was actually watching one of these Google. I think it was actually the very first time I was watching a Google Hangout Plus, and it had a few of my YouTuber people that I kind of knew. I think it was Comical Reina, actually, was it? Yeah, and then I see this dude, which was you, come up all like, hey guys, man, sorry, I just got out of the gym, sorry I'm late, man, and I saw the LA Raiders, I saw all the LA gear, and I'm like, yep, all right, I gotta talk to this dude, because obviously he's from LA, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta rep it, man, wherever you are.
Yeah, Tino, why don't you, if you, for my audience, and obviously you have your own audience, but if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and, you know, how long you've been living in Japan and, you know, the brief bio.
The basics, right? Okay, yeah. Well, I think everybody knows me out there as the Mexican Samurai because, you know, I have that channel over here. We're on Minako and Roman's channel because I like to talk about the Japanese thing. I like to do the Japanese thing over here, whereas I keep my Mexican Samurai channel for, you know, things more of just talking about life in general.
From the heart, not monetized, just straight from you to your audience. I like that. Yeah.
I'll never monetize that channel, man, because it's like I don't want anything from you. I want you to come over here and learn from my experiences. You know, I'm sliding into 50 years old right now. I've been in Japan almost half my life. Check that out. This is my 25th year, you know, being out here, and it's like I came out here, you know, with the intent of just staying a year, you know, experience and learning the language and what happens, and look to go back after that. And it's just I fell in love with the job and what I do here, and I recognized my calling, and I'm still here, man.
Right on.
For that 1 year, man, it's stretched out to going on 25 now. So, but yeah, I got that Mexican Samurai channel, which is my heart and soul, and I like to think that you know, that's a place where I can go to and just chill and talk to a lot of people out there, meet a lot of great people out there in the YouTube land, and but you know, things that are pertaining to living in Japan or just doing the J-vlog thing. I'm trying to slide my way into the J-vlog thing, but I don't know, it's kind of difficult, dude. It's I really don't I don't know. I can't really grasp what I want to do about the J vlogging. I mean, because you see a lot of J vloggers who talk about snacks and drinks and things like that, and it's like I don't know, man. It's like you got so many people doing it. It's there's a lack of originality there.
Right.
So I can't really find my place, but I do want to share things that are Japanese. You know, but I'd like to do it on Minako and Roma's channel because what they do over here is more dedicated to Japan and doing things out here in Japan, you know. So I think that if I stayed over here and did that with them, I could consider myself to be somewhat of a J vlogger over here. My Mexican Samurai channel, nah, nah, nah. Nothing J vlogging about that, man. That's straight up life.
Yeah, you know, it was funny. One of my subscribers just happened to mention about how if you live in Japan and you just start making videos, people automatically assume you're like a J blogger, and it's just like, why can't you just be a dude living in Japan, like making videos and such? So.
Yeah. What's up with the title, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, well, you know, especially with Japan, everybody wants to be categorizing things, and you always got to have a label and where you're from, and it's just like the rap game. You got like, you know, what street are you running? What hood? Who do you roll with? Who's producing you? Whatever. So, but you know, whatever the case may be. Well, good to have you, and we might be joined by one of my other homies. You know. For those of you that don't know, I sometimes mention this on my channel, but I don't keep a very large circle of friends, and I keep my circle pretty tight, generally because there's a lot of crazy people out here. But for foreigner and Japanese both, I'm a equal opportunist for craziness. But I have one other friend that I tend to go to for advice all the time, and he might be joining us a little later. If he signs in, I'll introduce him real quick. But the question at hand, that it came up to me the other day. I'm a beach guy, obviously, Los Angeles, and I don't like swimming in Japan because it's such a mess with the jellyfish, basically.
Yeah.
The things are crazy, and so someone told me, or actually a few people told me, if I go to Itoshima, a place called Itoshima, that this place is jellyfish free. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. I got in. My friend actually drove me, and we went to Itoshima, and I had my snorkels on and everything. I was about to jump in, saw a goddamn jellyfish right there looking at me like, hello, what's up? Oh, I was
away from it, man. If you don't go to the beach, if you're not at the beach right now, I mean, if we're going into July, forget it, man. It's over, man. It's jellyfish city, believe me.
But this was last weekend. And it was still jellyfish floating around. It's crazy. Like, I'm gonna have to go into dead of winter, be like Ned Snark, like winter is coming, and start swimming around in that time. But yeah. But the main point is, it was the drive. It was the drive that was crazy. The swerving left and right, and just the near misses. And I mean, granted, Japanese people have some really inch by inch, like detailed precision with their driving, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, kill me. So I just thought to myself, I was like, okay, I got to get back in control of my destiny, control of my life. I got to get my hands behind the steering wheel. Ever since, I haven't actually driven a car in almost 4 years now. I've been in a car, but I've not driven, and I haven't had my hands on the wheels of anything in 4 years, ever since I left Los Angeles. And you being from Los Angeles, Tino, you know all about how the driving culture, you got to have a car in Los Angeles.
Yeah, definitely.
People, there's cycles on the bus, there are no subways, you know, you have to have a car. So to be so detached from something that was like second nature to me for so long, it is starting to bother me a bit. And I just started thinking, I was just like, what does it take? What does it take? You know, I looked into it a few times before, a few years ago. I was like, yeah, you know, I could get a license. And people were just like, nah, well, you know, it costs like $2,000, and you got to take a test that costs $2,000 as well. And then after you get this like some sort of license that expires in 2 years, and it costs another $2,000. It's really not worth it. And I was just like, okay, well, I was living in Tokyo at the time, and I'm like, well, yeah, actually, it isn't that worth it, because there's a subway station every 5 minutes in Tokyo, which is fine, But here in Kyushu, here in Fukuoka, it does become a problem. Even today, it's the rainy season right now. I'm on my bike and I'm just like water over here, water over there. I wore this like Batman-looking cape today, like a giant poncho, and I still got wet. So, I guess the question here is, what does it take to drive in Japan? For basic starters, for people that don't know anything about it, if you want to get a car, if you want to get a license, how's that start from the beginning?
Okay, well, I came out here, man. I had no license at all. I had my California driver's license. That was it. Okay, so I go back after the first year, and I pick up a foreign license, a foreign international driver's license, and I used that, and I was basically just under the impression that I would only stay another year, go
Right.
back to the second year, right? So it wouldn't really be in my best interest to go out and get a driver or convert my California driver's license to a Japanese license. But seeing that, nah, I'll probably stay a while. So I went ahead and converted it. Now, they told me that I would have to take a test. And at that particular time, man, I couldn't speak that much Japanese. I couldn't read it or write it as well. So the officers there, they told me that I could take a verbal test. And on that particular day, there was a typhoon that was coming.
There's always a typhoon in Japan.
Yeah. So they're getting ready. They're getting ready for. They're bracing for the typhoon. It's getting ready to close up in like 15 minutes. So the officer comes out, and the gal who was with me, who was translating for me, she was helping me with the test, and he would ask her questions, and she would try her best to just explain to me what he was saying. I couldn't understand what she was talking about. Her English was pretty bad, right?
Right.
And so she was just winging it. She was going, so you could this and then take this, and then when you see this, and then you have to do this, and then with her eyes she would go, and I would go, yes, and then so she would just translate that into this and that, and so when she would go, no, no, it was just basically a yes or no question, right? So I was just going with it, and I passed the test, and they gave me a driver's license. So I was able to convert my California state license into a Japanese driver's license.
I see. So, but in the beginning, what many people could do is have
International driver's license.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's called international driver's license.
Used it for a year.
Okay, 1 year, and then after that, you have to, as you
Just
said,
renew it. Just continue to renew it if you want to. You know, if you're not going to stay here long term, I mean that's one way. But the simple fact of the matter is, if you need a car or not, that's what the problem is. You see, that's the question. If you need one or not. I'm in Kyushu, man. We're in Kyushu, so it's like you have the train station up where you have the train system where you are. Man, I'm right in central Kyushu, where so it's like no, it's either the bus or the bus. You know, it's like it's not like up in Tokyo where you have a train running in all directions in every 5 minutes. You know,
absolutely.
you'll wait like 30 to 45 minutes for a bus just to go down the street. So it's like, no, I'm not having that. So it was imperative that I get a car because of the simple fact that I would have to be traveling all over
Right.
to get to work. You see.
Right. Now
And
let's say you want to get a car. What does this entail basically? There's like, for those that don't know, there's like different types of cars. There's different types of license plates out here, right?
yeah, you can. The first car that I got was a K car.
A K car. What is a K car?
The K car is the economical car. They're the yellow number cars. Okay. So I bought my first car for a grand, $1,000. That's
Wow.
yeah, from a used car dealer.
Okay.
And that was, it was just cash, boom. You know, I got it. So it was enough. It was a bucket. It was enough for me to get from A to B. Okay. So it was nothing fancy, nothing like that. And when I first came out here, man, I was, dude, I was running all over the place, trying to establish myself as a teacher. I was working day and night. I never said no to anything. Man, I was a workhorse. That was it. I didn't do anything but work. And the simple fact that I'm trying to build a name for myself, trying to get my face around, trying to get around to meet people, trying to get it to where I can actually make a life for myself out here. So I needed the car. I needed the car to get places.
So the Decay car is this economical car. I mean, obviously, when you hear economical, it got the job done, but what was it like, basically, riding that thing? Was it really small, or was it like a clown car or something?
It was a clown car, man. It's basically a clown car. I could never imagine having an accident in this thing. And it's like, I would think about that all the time. You know what? If somebody would have hit me in this car, that would be it. That would be it. I would have a brace for impact. And I'd probably just flex, and I'd probably just be able to deflect a lot of the damage, okay, to my body. Then the car would not protect me at all. That's my worst fear of getting in an accident in this thing, right?
Right.
The shaken, which is the mandatory maintenance checkup that you have to have on the car every year or every 2 years or every 3 years, however long it lasts on your car, is very, very cheap. I didn't have to pay, but what it was about, 60,000 to 70,000 yen.
Okay, so about 700 to 750 to 7. Wait, am I doing the math right?
About anywhere from 625 to 725.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not that bad. It's not that bad compared to other cars, right? So it was cheaper. The gas, putting gas in it was dirt cheap. It was really, really cheap. It's an economical car. It's a
Right.
car that's going to serve the purpose, and and they're durable. They last for a long time, and that the road tax was really, really cheap as well. I think back then it was what I only paid, like what, maybe 6,000 yen a year for the road tax.
But
And
definitely not for style. That's for sure, right?
oh man, I no pride at all at that particular time when I was here. I was not looking. Oh no, I was not looking to be showy. No, I was trying to get from A to B.
So what's the next level, I guess, of the K from the K car? What's the next like upgrade, so to speak?
Okay, so I'm making a little bit more money now. Okay, I'm here. I'm here 5 years in. I'm making a little bit more money. I've established myself. I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good for myself. So I go to the Chrysler dealer, okay, and I get a Jeep Cherokee.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, so I get a used Jeep Cherokee. So I'm rolling in this red Jeep Cherokee. Oh, now I'm looking good. Okay, I got the car, right? So it's like I'm paying a little bit more. Okay, so I tried to. I went and I took the bucket that I had and see if I could get a trade in. You can trade it in. They'll take it and they'll scrap it for you, but you're not going to get any money for it. That's what they told me. I was like, well, yeah, I could figure that. So they scrapped it for me, and I paid. I put about $4,000 on it.
For the new one, the Jeep.
For
Okay.
the Jeep.
Okay.
And then I was just paying. What was I paying? $500 a month. For payments on it until I paid it off. It was like a 5-year contract that I had on it. And before I purchased the car, I had to have proof that I had somewhere to park it. That was a trip for me.
Huh.
But back home, we don't have to do that. We don't have to prove.
All
They
right.
have to draw a diagram of where I'm going to park the car. The size of the parking spot. And I had to provide them with that information when I first purchased it. And that was a trip for me. I was like, damn, for real? Hmm.
Wow.
It was cool. I had to have a co-signer
Hmm.
car, and I got a friend of mine to co-sign for me. You know, that's just in case that I flake out. You know, I don't make the payments. So they'll go to somebody else. They do that. You know, they do that wherever you're at. They do it back home in the States. So yeah. And then you know, and now here I am. I'm doing a lot better for myself. So I go back to the Chrysler dealer, and 6 years after that, and I get my Jeep. I get a Jeep Wrangler, soft top convertible, and yeah, you know, it was a long road going from that bucket that I first got to the Jeep that I have now, you know, and
Right.
now I'm getting a Hummer.
Right. You're interested
Now
in
we're
getting.
talking about that recently, you know.
Right, exactly. So would you say the K car, the economical car, that's the first level? So what would the first Jeep that you got, the Wrangler was it?
Cherokee.
The Cherokee, what level is that considered? Are there different levels of cars in Japan?
Oh, most definitely. If you have a foreign car, okay, you're gonna pay more. Road tax. For example, when I had the bucket, I was only paying what? Uh, just what 6,000 to 7,000 yen a year. Okay, with the Cherokee, dude, I was paying for road tax, I was paying eight hundred $800 for road tax.
What is a road tax, basically?
It's mandatory. You have to pay road tax out here. It's like the smog that the mandatory smog check that you gotta get on cars back home.
Okay.
Here they got road taxes. And just to have the car, just to roll in the car, you have to pay road taxes.
Wow.
And depending on the size of the engine, okay, the kind of car that you have, and I have a 3-number car. The Jeep was a 3-number car, which is like the big engines, right?
Okay.
So I had to pay, I had to pay what, I think it was $700 for
A year.
just to ride the car.
A year or
Year annually.
wow.
And then my mandatory maintenance check.
Shotgun, right?
The shotgun, I was paying 1,800 to about 1,800.
Okay. Wow.
180,000 yen.
Okay.
And what they basically do is it's a checkup, dude. They go in and they tune stuff up. If your cup holder is a little crooked or something like that, they'll straighten it out for you. They'll change the windshield wipers for you. They'll change the oil. They'll change the brakes if necessary. The tires, if you need those changed, they'll do that for you. It's all depending on what you need on the car done, okay, and they'll fix it for you. But that just it depends on what you need, and that is going to change the price of how much you pay for that shotgun. So I can go from anywhere from 1,800 to like maybe to 2,500.
Okay.
Okay, that dollars, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what I need. So before I would take it to shotgun, every 2 years I had shotgun on the Jeep. So before I take it to shotgun, I would go to one of these places like Autobacks. It's something like Pet Boys that we have back home, right?
Right.
So I would take it to Autobacks and I would ask him to change my my brakes and stuff like that on the Cherokee, right? But or change my oil. So when I take it to shotgun, they don't have to do it, so the price of the shotgun will come down, right? But the thing is, when you have a car like that, an American car, and you let somebody else touch it, and they probably haven't touched anything like that before, they don't do it right sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right, of course.
So I learned from having the Cherokee not to let people who are not authorized to touch it. You take it to these places where they have it's a garage and they do tune-ups and they do oil changes and things like that. They'll do brakes and stuff like that. It doesn't mean necessarily that they'll be able to do it on your car. This may be the first time. So
right.
you have a mechanic that's going there, is kind of looking forward to doing something like this. They might
do experiment. Yes.
There's a couple of nuts left over. I don't know where they go, but here you are. It's like, what?
Yeah, I got a bag of these parts. I don't know where they went, but yeah, have fun with that.
Live
I
and
got
learn, man. Live and learn.
you. Right. So, I guess this alludes to one of the biggest reasons is you'll see a lot of a lot of people outside of Japan think that all the people driving the cars out here are like dropped Hondas and rice rockets, so to speak, and drifting cars, and it's really, really nice cars and such, like decked out. But the reality is most of the cars you'll see on a day-to-day basis are the K cars, as you said, they're very boxy, they're very rectangular, soccer mom, very boring type cars. And then on top of that, it changes every 2 years. Once you buy this new car, or I want to say even lease it, so to speak, is everybody's they're almost forced to change up and just get a new car because it's cheaper to get a new one opposed to keeping the old one. And this is something that Japanese people, all my Japanese friends, have continually been telling me every time when I see them. I'm like, oh, you got a new car. Dang, you're rich. They're like, nah, it's just cheaper to get a new car instead of fix the old one. So, yeah. So what exactly is that?
It's because of the shaken.
Okay, the shotgun then.
Okay, that mandatory maintenance check that you have on there. Okay, now when you buy it, the older the car gets, the more often you're going to have that check. When I first got the Jeep, I got the shotgun every 3 years, and then it went from every 3 years to every 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a car that's over 10 years old, you're going to have that check annually. So can you imagine paying $2,000 just to have them change the oil or something on your car and everything everything for you, in order for you to pass shucking, the car has to be stock. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right, right.
Rolls Rockets, you have these you see these cars that are just lowered and things like that. They got all of these alterations, the mods here and there, right? So it's like they basically have to return that back to stock to get it passed, and then they'll go and alternate it again. See the process that they go through? That's why you don't see a lot of those. They'll keep those cars in the garage. But if you go to like certain places, like in every city, you'll have a gathering place where all these car buffs who have those Fast and the Furious cars, you know, the ones that you see Tokyo Drift and like that. When you see those cars, you'll have this one place in each city where they gather, where they do those street races and what have you. But it's like it's not the normal thing to see on an everyday basis. Like I think you would probably see more of them up there in Fukuoka where you are. Okay, more than I would see them down here. But you know what is amazing is when I go back home to LA, I'll see more of those those mod cars in LA than I would here.
Right. That's that's the weirdest part. You know, I really, you know, when growing up, I was a huge fan of those type of just the dropped out cars, and so my image of when I came out here was that I was gonna see, like, I could get a car like that, and it was gonna be so sick to drive one of those around. But you just rarely see it unless, like you said, it's those kind of meet and greet type of things, or ironically, a lot of otaku, fans and geeks deck their cars out like that and have all the anime on the side. Like, they're the only ones I really see treat those cars really well and such. And like you said, it's very rare and only on occasion that you'll see them riding around. And on a daily Japan, you don't see it that often, those types of cars.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive. So would you say, though, that riding a car or would you say that owning a car in Japan is more expensive than America or anywhere around the world, so to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
It is expensive. And like I said, if you like I said, if you own an American car here, oh man, you are paying some money for real.
So, and then would you say, is it functional to have a car in Japan?
It depends on where you are. I mean, I think if you're living in Tokyo, you've lived up there, right?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Um, I don't know if you would really need a car up there.
On occasion, yes, but overall, you just don't need it that much. It's like you said, there's a station everywhere you go. It
Yeah.
gets expensive at times, though. Like just for example, one year I wanted to go to Zushi Beach, which is a very popular beach in Tokyo, or a little bit outside of Tokyo to go to. But that entire train ride itself cost me like something like 4,000 yen, so about $50. And I was just like, man, I wish I had a car instead.
Yeah.
But the reality is, the gas alone, driving a car out there probably would have been more expensive. So, and most of our audiences know, but at 12 o'clock, the train lines basically shut down. The Cinderella effects, I like to call it. Everything, that magical hour, especially in Tokyo when you see the dudes making the mad dashes and such. I've gotten adjusted to it a bit, living out here in Fukuoka, but it always just felt like the whole 12 o'clock train shutting down thing just cramped my LA style, because that's for a lot of us. 12 o'clock is when the party just starts basically, and it's around 1 o'clock is where it really picks up, and you got to make that conscious decision right then there at 12 o'clock. Do I stay or do I go? And if I stay, I can't go back home until 5, 6 in the morning when the trains open back up again. So
Right, right, right.
and this is a weird thing, because that's something it took a long time for me to adjust to, and a part of my nightlife just got killed that way, because in LA, it was just a thing of like, oh, it's 12 o'clock, let me get another round or whatever, and you just chill until 3, 4 in the morning, and you could, just at leisure, it's like, okay, time to go home and such. So, uh, it's a difficult thing to make this adjustment of not having a car, and
Yeah.
especially out here in Fukuoka, with the rain, and like you said, even though I live in the city, um, somewhat the city, it takes 14 minutes to walk to the station, and then it takes another 14 minutes from the station I get out of to walk to work. So I actually ride my bike only because it takes less time to get to work via my bike than just that time of walking, and there's a lot of walking involved. So um, it's very tricky. And then on top of that, the whole driving culture itself. The driving culture of Los Angeles in America, you just want to have a nice ride. You like the idea of listening to the radio. You like driving around cruising with your friends and such. Is that pretty evident in Japan? Do they have that same sort of feeling?
Most definitely. Kids are always going to be kids wherever, man. And riding in a nice car and picking up the girls, talking to the girls. Hey, that's international wherever you go, right?
Right. Do you think there's a big focus though on like having a nice car, and with I see at some of the stores they have the black lights and things like that, and do you feel like that? Do you feel like that's a big focus out here? Like, I gotta have a nice car to impress the ladies.
That's yeah, definitely.
I see.
You can't roll up and have one of those. Oh well, I could. But nah, but then nah, it's all about that status, man. That's always going to be a factor.
Right, absolutely. I got
Clothes
you.
that you wear, the clothes that you wear, the cologne that you wear, and also the ride that you ride in.
Right, right, exactly. I got you. Okay. Well, that being said, what's the next big vehicle? What's the next upgrade for yourself? What are you looking at? You have a couple of different decisions here.
Hummer, man, a Hummer or an Escalade. I'm also thinking about getting another Jeep Wrangler, or what is that? What is the Rube? Was it Ruben? What is that?
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
My daughter sent me a picture of this really nice Jeep, man. It
Really?
was sweet, yeah. But I'm thinking about going to Chrysler. I'm really happy with the Chrysler dealers, man. I mean, they take care of my car, man. I've had that Jeep for over 10 years now, and you've seen it, man. You see how nice it is, you know.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And what's the reason for the jumps this time around?
Um, just something new, something a little bit bigger. You know, Roman, he's getting a lot bigger, and then Christine and Christian, they're coming out here in October. You know, my oldest son and daughter. So you know, just need something a little bit more bigger. You know,
Okay.
and yeah, you know, I've had it for over 10 years, like I said. So it's about, you know, it's about time for a change.
You think the Hummers are going to be harder to maintain out? Because as far as I remember, the Hummers were a problem in Los Angeles to begin with when they started, and then the H3, when that came out, it was like the downsized, more city-friendly type of Hummer. City-friendly, I say that, but they were all still gas guzzlers.
Oh, yeah.
You feel it's even a harder issue in Japan?
I think as far as the size is concerned, I will have to take an alternate route, you know. But then again, the Jeep is pretty big too, so you know I have to watch the roads that I take when I'm going places. But gas, it probably won't be a difference. I'm basically used to putting $50 in the tank every week.
I see.
And that's what I put in the Jeep every week. If it lasts 7 days, it's a good thing. But I'm putting $50 in the tank for high octane. I can't use the regular gas. I put high octane in the a gas tank. But that's just to make it, you know, make it feel better. If you feed it right, it treats you right. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
But I wouldn't suggest Gaijin out here to go out and get an American car if you are not financially able to do that, because you're going to be paying a lot for gas. Road tax is going to be maybe 10 times more than you would regularly pay for a regular Japanese car. The maintenance is going to be a little bit more pricey for you. Parts, maintenance, you know, it's better for you to allow the dealers where you go. Don't get, if you're going to get an American car, don't get it from the used car lots, because a lot of those people, they're just selling cars that they get secondhand, right? They don't specialize in maintaining those cars.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So if you're gonna get in a car, if you're gonna get a Beamer, if you're gonna get an American car, if you're gonna get a German car, go to the dealer. Okay, go to the professionals and make sure it's gonna cost you a little bit more to maintain it, but let them touch it. Don't let any of these cheap places touch your car, because a lot of them just won't be qualified. A lot of them will say they can do it, but you'll probably end up with a bag of leftover parts, and that's not a good thing. You don't want to do that, you know.
Right. Now let's say you want to get a Japanese car. What would you say is the average price a foreigner would be paying? An average price, and then if you're going to get a really nice one, what the high-end price would be?
That's a good question, man. We're talking about what an $80,000 car right there, dude. The Toyotas are really pricey, but then again, that's wherever you go. Toyotas are always going to. Well, the Lexuses are really pricey, right? You're gonna pay a lot more than you would for just a regular soccer mom car, or you know, a minivan or something like that. But it depends on what kind of car that you want. But the Japanese cars are really reliable. Honda is also a very good reliable car as well. Toyotas are always going to be expensive wherever you go. And they just had that the Toyota FJ, that 4x4 that was really popular back in the States. I used to see those a lot back in LA. They just came out here in Japan, what, 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
I was thinking about getting one of those until a lot of the elderly started purchasing those. So now it has that image, the Prius, and the Ford, and then the FJs. They're owned by old people, so it's like, damn, I can't get one of those anymore.
Well,
So,
you know, the old people start to like it, it doesn't work. So okay.
Yeah, you'll forget that. But yeah, you'll pay like a good $500 a month for a nice car out here, and maintenance, gasoline, and stuff like that. You're gonna have to put some money aside for maintenance each month. That's what I had to do. I just put a little money aside for maintenance and oil changes and what have you. So, gasoline. I would suggest getting if you just need something for transportation, get an economy car. Don't get something big. Just get the K car. It works for a lot of gaijin out here. Because they don't stay long term. They just need something to get from point A to point B, and it's good, man. But
Are most cars out here manual or stick shift?
oh, it depends on what you're gonna get. They got both.
Okay.
Sports cars are always gonna be stick.
Right. Right. That's what I would love. I would love to get myself a nice sports car, but it just sounds so expensive to
Yeah.
have out here. Yeah.
And gas is not cheap, man, especially out here. So it's pretty expensive to put gas in them. And the sports cars they cost you a little bit much more than automatic. I think it would be, as far as the gas is concerned.
Sounds to me like the best thing is just go ahead and get your license, and if you're going to do something on the weekend, just rent a car instead.
Yeah, it's a good idea. If you've been here longer than 10 years, and if you don't have a car, something's wrong.
Really? Okay.
I I can't. I don't care where you are. If you're in Tokyo, Osaka. If I were in Tokyo and Osaka, it doesn't matter. I can't. I see some gaijin. They're riding a bike with their kid in the front and the back. I don't get that. Get a freaking car. What is that? You're driving a bike. You got somebody sitting you got your kid sitting in the front, in the back, and it's like, get a car.
It's true. Well, I definitely wanted to get my man Taz's, DJ Taz's opinion on that, especially living in Tokyo, and he's been living here, I think 14 to 20 years, and I wanted to see if he had a car as well, but he keeps on trying to get in the chat, but he said that I need to invite him. I invited him, but I haven't approved him or something, and I've been trying to get him in here, but it's not working. So we'll get it. I'll get to him the next time and such. So we'll wrap it up.
On the medium.
Yeah, absolutely. Tino, I appreciate the time and the advice. I hope my audience could definitely get some information from this, and yours as well. And we'll have to do it again next time.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Right on, man. Absolutely. Peace out.
Life in Japan.
Live in Japan, Tino and Akasan.
Oh, yeah.
Two brothers from LA making
That's
it.
right. Yes, bye.
And